Straight A's since primary school. Bursaries, academic honors, top 5 in the province. You'd never known what failure felt like until the email arrived. We regret to inform you. Your stomach dropped. Your throat tightened. You read it 5 times hoping the words would change. They didn't. Everyone expected you to pass. Your lecturers, your parents, yourself. But you didn't. And in that moment, you weren't the high flyer anymore. You were just lost. If you are not your marks, who are you now? Today we are joined by Amo Tia Mawela, award-winning CA trainee at AGSA and community developer. We chat about how we find ourselves on our journey through failure. We also chat about how ambition led her to the accounting degree, the battles of embarrassment when you repeat a year, self-complexity in your identity, and why a hobby will save your life. Her journey of joining NPO, Keep That Gold Shining, and more. I hope you enjoy. My Travelers on the Road, very, very fast one. If you have not already, if the show is giving you value, the big V, please rate it. Just quickly exit your Spotify app, Apple Podcasts, wherever you are. If you're on YouTube, just like it, bro. You know you like it, and let us know. If you don't like it, also let us know. If it's a 2-star show, obviously I'm not biased. I believe it's a 5-star show, but please do so, man. Rate it the 2 stars if that's what you think. But if it's giving you value, please, that 5-star. It's the only way we can show that aspiring CAs are here. We're here to become. So yeah, please do so. With that, on to the episode. Welcome back, my people. This is the Road to CA podcast, the show for aspiring chartered accountants to inspire, empower, and inform the future change makers. Today we are joined by a CA trainee in the public sector who is, in her heart of hearts, a community developer. She is an award-winning CASA trainee, brand ambassador for the AGSA, and was a 2025 CSI deputy chairperson. Most importantly, though, she is a wife to an incredible husband, cousin, aunt, sister, and likes to run, read, and listen to podcasts in her spare time. She is Mrs. Perseverance. We are joined by Amogelang Tia Mawela. Amo, how are you?
I'm well, man. What an intro.
You see, the problem is, right, I've got this energy that requires that board.
Okay.
Where you press the buttons.
Yeah.
And it goes...
Do.
Literally, but we're still working on the funding, man.
Okay. No, you get there. You'll get there.
We'll get
Eventually.
there. We'll get there.
I'm well, man. I'm okay. Can't complain.
Sure.
Beautiful weather. Yeah. I must say that what you're doing is very inspirational.
Thank you, man.
Not only us, say aspirants, but every professional, man. Literally, it is inspiring. I'm commending you on that.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
Thank you, man. I was thinking about it last year. How do I make this timeless?
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of 2 types if we look at this short-term versus long-term model.
Okay.
There is evergreen content.
Yeah.
And there's topical content.
Yeah.
So basically the difference is topical, it's very specific to the time. It's very specific to the zeitgeist and the status quo. Evergreen is designed to be able to be listened to in 2 years, 3 years.
To be relevant, basically.
To be relevant all the time any time. So for instance, yesterday we just had Valentine's. So if you created Valentine's content, then that wouldn't be evergreen.
Yeah.
But if you created content about love,
Yeah.
that might be
Yeah.
evergreen. And so I was thinking a lot about that, and some of it is also trying to ensure that even though this is CA specific,
Yeah.
how is this content also valuable abroad? Like if even a lawyer came and clicked on this,
Yeah.
or if literally a high school student who knew nothing about CA,
Yeah.
would they still gain? Is how I'm thinking. So that was affirming.
Yeah.
Your praise. It was very affirming.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Okay, let's go back. Let's rewind to where this whole CA thing began for you.
Oh my word. I'm just going to go back to my background, right?
Sure.
So I was born and raised. I don't know if you've mentioned it. I was born and raised
didn't.
in the north part of Pretoria,
Sure.
like further north, Hammanskraal. It's in
Okay.
Pretoria.
Okay.
Some mistake it to be in actually Limpopo, but it's not.
Sure.
So it's in Hammanskraal. Both my secondary and primary school, or high school rather, I went there. And actually, in my time, there wasn't like, you know how you would have primary school and secondary school basically. So I think primary will be grade 1 to 7 or R to 7, and you'd have grade 8 to 12 as like a secondary school.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
in my time, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
So I had to go to 3 schools basically. So I did my 1 to 6 in a different primary school, and then an 8 to 9 in 7 to 9 in a middle school.
I've heard
And
of
then
that.
10 to 12, I did it like in a high school.
I've heard of that.
But now they actually changed that. That was before it could become like a secondary school, which is now 8 to 12.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's where I did basically my basic education, and I did maths and science, funny enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a science lover. Though I did accounting, but I think I loved science. Right? I loved science. And then you are asking, when did the CA journey begin?
Yeah.
In high school, I knew I was good in accounting, right? Among other subjects. However, with what is this? I did not necessarily know what CAs do, like I said initially. Yes, I knew that they're making money, right? But then the accounting part of it, for example, in high school, you'd have accounting. We know that it was financial analysis. Like you'd be doing your trial balances, your income statements, and. However, I did not know until I got to varsity that actually accounting sciences involved auditing. In accounting, as you know, in high school, I don't know if you did accounting in high school.
I did. Yeah.
You would have
Useless, by the way, if you're.
actually, that's what I want to say. Not necessarily
Not
useless.
useless.
It helped us.
No, yeah.
It
Let me
did.
relax. Let me relax. Not
No,
entirely.
not entirely useless. It like literally gave us like a like we understood what is a debit and a credit, man. You do
Facts,
know what
facts.
is a debit and a credit because
And I
of that
take that for
accounting.
granted. And I take that for granted. Facts.
Exactly. So basically, in high school, you would know that the accounting was the financial analysis. Majority part of it was financial analysis. And then you would have vet question and you also have auditing question. However, the auditing question was always limited to like 5 marks. And it was like a standard answer or standard question. You would know they would either speak about inventory that is missing. And then you would speak about controls like install CCTV footages.
I didn't even think that was auditing.
There was
You're actually
auditing.
right.
There was
You're
auditing actually. But then it was just a posting. It was like 5 marks. I
very
think we were
small,
writing out of
very,
300
very
marks.
Small, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like just 5 marks. So in my head, when I thought I was going to do accounting, basically that's what I thought
Sure.
accounting was. Yes, accounting was not my first choice of study. I've applied for medicine, believe it or not. People will ask me, why would you be in 2 different spheres? Like you have medicine and you also have accounting. Those things. I was like, you know what? All of them are 7 years.
Sure.
Yeah.
So then what was, okay, obviously the pull towards medicine,
Okay.
number one, you like science and you're good at maths, right? Maths and science. Boom.
Yep.
That kind of makes sense.
Yep.
Obviously being a doctor, prestigious as well. But then accounting, also prestigious, the CA thing takes 7 years. What was the pull towards those? Was it the prestige? Or what was it? Was it someone else that was kind of inspiring you or saying, Amo, you should go here, you should go there?
Yeah, I think it's being audacious
Okay.
and a day.
Sure.
You do know, coming from like such villages, I would say Hammanskraal is a village. It's like a township, you know, like it does have like its own challenges. It's like, I would say it's a poor background basically. If you made, especially, and then in Hamaskwa, majority of Hamaskwa is made of old people.
Sure.
So if you tell an elderly person that I'm going to become a doctor, automatically they like, oh, okay, that person is going to be a doctor, or that child is going to be a doctor. But should you go there now and tell them that I'm actually going to become a CA? What is a CA?
Sure.
I'm doing accounting, but I don't necessarily know what is a chartered accountant, right? Who inspired me to study accounting sciences? I had a mentor. Actually, I had two mentors. One did medicine, and the other one did accounting sciences.
Oh, sure.
Right? I think it was being naive in grade 11 because they were just a year ahead of me. I think it was just being naive when the accounting science one actually got the first position, right? And the medicine one got the second position in high school. And in my head, I was like, okay, let me do this accounting thing.
My goodness.
It's not a bad thing.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, I was like, let me do this accounting thing. By the way, I'm good in accounting.
Yeah,
and then even in school, teachers knew that, okay, fine. Even if I was good in physical sciences was actually my highest.
Sure.
Even though I was good, to teachers, I was second best because I was the number one of physical science. But in accounting, I was the number one of accounting. It's like, maybe accounting is for me.
Sure.
Like I'm saying, when you imagine a 17-year-old man, like you're still naive, you're not really thinking straight. As long as this is something that is going to put me in the spotlight, then I'm going to do it either way. Right? So yeah, she did accounting. And I think that also inspired me to just say, let me do accounting. Medicine was applied in vets.
Okay.
And then accounting science was applied in University of Pretoria.
Sure.
I'm not someone that likes staying far away from home. I love home. I think I would go home every weekend when I was in varsity. So being in University of Pretoria, coming from Pretoria, made sense to me, honestly. Yeah, and the way I grew up, basically, I was like a reserved child. Though I'm outspoken and stuff, but I was reserved in terms of being with other kids outside, playing outside. So I think Pretoria came with comfort. It came with comfort. It's closer to home. If something goes wrong, I'm going home. If something goes wrong, my mom will come and pick me up, or if I go home. So yeah,
sure.
I think that's
like,
it.
There's circumstance. There's what was the shiniest thing within your vicinity. There's the ambition and the audacity. Because obviously, especially when you're young, ambition for a young person looks like, okay, how am I going to get the most marks? How am I going to get the most recognition? And so accounting for you was really like a flip of the coin between medicine and accounting, being a doctor and accounting. And even additionally, you applied to the best programs for each. You know, UP, you're like, what's the best accounting program? And Wits, what's the best medicine program? And I feel like that is a common thread for many aspiring CAs. They just look up and they look to what is the best, because chartered accounting is the highest designation. Can you just elaborate on your journey from there, having started? So now you've chosen this accounting thing. It's the path you've chosen. It's the path of excellence that you've chosen. What was the journey now? Academically in UP?
Accounting science.
Yes.
When I got to UP, accounting wasn't accounting. When I got to UP, accounting was just whatever that I did, like I said in grade 12, was just like a tiny bit of accounting. Get to first year, there is like informatics. To first year, there is computer sciences and Excel,
Word, and learning how to navigate those.
Literally. So I don't know if they still do it now at UP, but then what they would do is we would have a test. I think it's, I don't think engineering students are taking it. I think the non-engineers are taking it. I think it's, I don't know if it was AIM. I think it was AIM.
Academic Information Management,
something like that, but we did computer there.
Yes.
So they were teaching us computer. Like I said, coming from a disadvantaged township, maybe not necessarily seeing a computer for the first time.
Not necessarily.
But having to use the computer
at that
for
level.
the first time, at that level.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously One thing about the University of Pretoria, it's different backgrounds,
True.
people from different backgrounds, people that have been exposed to computers in different manners. Either's had computer, maybe science. I think they call it CATS as a subject in high school. So when I then started my first year, that's when I realized that, okay, now this is not just like a paper that you wrote, like a physical paper that you would write and, balance using the most like technical thing, or rather an application tool that you use is just a casual calculator. It went beyond that. You needed to use your computer, send stuff, computer, finding your what is this, the documents, the supported documents to study your material through a computer. So you still need to understand how the ClickUp thing works, and literally it's a whole new transition from high school in a township to a varsity, whereby others are just getting it like that and they're moving, and then by the way time is flying, because yes, you're still there trying to figure out what is actually happening in this cause where I'm actually in a new town, I'm far away from home, and all those things. There's people that are like, you know what, I just went to boarding schools, they do know how to live independently without their parents. You're still learning to do that, and at the same time there's now the cause that is now coming in. However, in the first year we did accounting before we could do the auditing, the other disciplines, basically tax, management, accounting as well. We just did accounting as like a year module. That's when I got to know the real accounting. I think the first term, or rather the first test, we did like a TB, a trial balance. At least the trial balance, you had an idea what is a trial balance because you did it. I think it was the first test. It was a trade data. It was questioning trade data, which is easier because I at least know what is a trade data. But then in high school, it wasn't necessarily a trade data; it was data control accounts. So they switched it a bit, but
which was good. It's like, oh, this is university trade data, university data control.
Exactly. In high school, we'd call the statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income to be income statement. Now it's like, no, you just need to understand that it's still the same statement, but then they just giving it like a different, rather universal name, right? I got to first year, I did accounting. Luckily I passed accounting, first year accounting, and then the other modules we did ethics. Like I had a bunch of subject or modules rather that we did, which I passed was okay, semester modules. Then I got to second year. That's when I got the shock of my life. Literally. Now there's what we call auditing.
Auditing.
There's what we call financial management. There's tax. As well. And now this is 2020. This is the COVID year. I did my first year in 2019. 2020 now is the COVID year. Even though I maybe found myself in 2021, in 2019 in first year, at least there was still that traditional way of going to class, because we would be going to class, sitting down and being taught. If you don't understand, you go to the lecturer, hey man, I don't understand this and this, and then they would help you like at that point in time. However, we get to second year, then COVID hit, 2020. And then there's a time whereby we go home and then no learning whatsoever. But then after a certain period of time, then actually you're going back. However, when you go back, you don't go back to traditional way of learning again. It's now online. When it's online and I'm seeing those two topics for the first time, time management is an issue because already we are behind and we're trying to, catch up. You're playing catch up, you don't understand the modules, and at the same time, no one is necessarily there or not necessarily there to monitor you, but the way you used to,
there's less accountability.
There's less accountability as well, right? You manage your own time. There's a whole lot of learning to do. In first year, yes, even though I'm trying to get on my feet, in second year, I still believe I'm still trying to get on my feet. I think in final year, maybe that's when I get to understand, okay, I'm used to this processes. This is how we're doing it. But in second year, it's still something different, right? And it's far worse because now there isn't any traditional way of learning. I'm not seeing my lectures full time. And I don't know, sometimes I'm even scared to go and consult. And I see flames, 2020. When 2020 hits, when 2020 ends, actually, I fail my financial accounting and my It was auditing.
And auditing.
No, auditing was past year. Auditing will kill me. It was tax. Tax, and I've never failed auditing. Luckily, it was tax and financial accounting.
Sure.
Second year. It's their year modules. If you
Sure.
fail them,
Yes.
you repeat the entire year.
Repeat the entire year. Yeah.
I've never failed my entire life.
Yes, that's actually such a common thread as well.
Yeah.
A whole year, not everyone goes through that.
Yes.
Some of us, we prefer the scenic route, like you and I.
Yeah.
You know, people like that boring 7-year thing. But, you know, some of us, we want some variety,
Yep.
some flavor.
Yes.
We want to repeat the year, you know?
Not necessarily. It's not something we do intentionally, though.
Yeah, it's not intentional. It's not
Yeah.
intentional. But that thing of having been this ambitious, audacious achiever
Yeah.
to failing.
Yep.
And that's the thing that you just said before the interview, in terms of there's so much that you actually learn on the road.
Yep.
It's like your purpose is not meant to, or typically it's not meant to be there before.
Yeah.
But actually within,
Yeah.
you find it. And there's so many things that you learn on the road. One of those things is the dangers of identifying with your achievements.
Yep. Yeah.
And before, it was very easy
Yes.
to be like, I am my marks.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
They defined you.
Look at all my A's.
Yeah.
That's me. That's who I am. And then, you fail.
Yeah.
So now, who are you?
Who are you? Literally.
Are you a failure?
Yeah.
You must be, because if that's who you are, if you are your achievements, then right now you are a failure.
Yeah.
And so second year was that time for you.
Yeah.
The first time. I mean, in fact, it's there's always, the first time is the most important, because that's the time where your paradigm has to shift.
Yes.
For me, it was third year, where I repeated my third year, and now you've got to really look in the mirror and say, hey, why are we here?
Yeah.
Please carry on.
But yeah, you're right, because a lot of doubt now start creeping in.
Yeah.
At that particular point in time.
Yeah.
You don't know who you are anymore.
Yeah.
If you passing, if you being number one, if you being a top achiever is what kept you going,
Yes.
and now you don't have that thing anymore, you don't even find, that thing that keeps pushing you to push more, basically. So yeah. Second year, that's when it happened. Like, a lot of doubt started creeping in, and I had a friend. I love my friend so much. We're still friends with him today.
Sure.
But she progressed to the next year. So now again, you don't even know how to behave, right? Sure. You're doing 2 different modules. She's in 300, you're still doing 200, right?
Sure.
You don't even, even you having to study together, you have to change some of the things, because maybe you're still doubting yourself. You don't even know how they perceive you as a human being. Literally, if your marks defined you, now you've lost that. You don't even know what you're doing.
And even on that, so there's no one really. Before, at least, I was very open with my failure. People don't talk about the embarrassment very much.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or not, you repeat, and then you have to go back to the same class that you were in. And the worst part at UP is the fact that so for me it was third year, but it's somewhat, I don't know if second year, third year, I don't know how connected they are. But if you're at the third year lecture halls, literally every day you're gonna walk past the postgraduate.
No, you will. Yeah, the EMS building and the IT building.
The
right?
EMS building and the IT building. So every day you're walking past these stupid ones that think I'm a failure. So these are obviously all my thoughts, and these are all your feelings, and you're just projecting, and it's not necessarily true that they're thinking any of that, right?
No, that's true.
But you have to go through this thing of they're gonna see that I fail.
You're actually right, because even the CTA students in University of Pretoria, they somewhat have this relationship, man. They're so close to each other.
Yeah.
So you would see during their breaks, they would just be next to the EMS building. All of them, you will literally know all of them, and you have to pass and go probably to an IT building and have to do another module that you sat for last year. And then the very same people you sat with, they're not going with you. So yes, a lot of doubt creeps, and you even think that these people are literally looking at me, and then where are you going? Because we're here. So honestly, you are right, man. You are right. Second year was that for me.
Sure.
Yeah, this was 2020.
2020.
Yeah. So 2021, I call it a year of perspective. I
Sure.
call 2021 a year of purpose. I call 2021 a year where I found myself. Right? My husband once asked me a question. Apart from being an auditor, how do you see yourself? Like, or what do you think people think of you?
Sure.
Basically. So if you were to tell someone that you are this person, but don't tell them you're an auditor, what would you say? I think,
It's a good question.
yeah, I think 2021 is that year, right? A year of not on par anymore with my the people that I was with in first
Sure.
year, second year,
Sure.
but then it's okay. And then at the same time, I'm not doing all of those modules anymore. What would I be doing in my spare time? Literally, apart from being a student, apart from studying accounting, what would I be doing? And that's when I started with the Pt1 organization. That's when I joined it in 2021. How I joined it was through a friend.
What is it called again?
Keep that gold shining.
Keep that gold
Shining.
shining. Can you also explain the name once you're done?
Okay, I will. Yeah. So that's when I joined the organization, and then it I think it gave me purpose. 2021 was no longer dragging anymore. I had something that I was doing. Like I think I went back on my feet. Okay. The organization, I was still trying to like explain what is it all about, but then also help me that understand rather that what you're going through, man, it's temporary, right? We obviously had mentors within the organization who would talk to us. It's actually my husband's friends. Will talk to us, and then I think 2021 actually made me realize that I can actually be something apart from being a CA. Literally, yes, they can coexist, and which is a beautiful thing. Man, as the chartered accountant that is bringing an impact or social impacts in the community, that would be beautiful. But I think it's a year that I needed in my life. I did. That's when I think I repeated. Yes, like I said, I repeated auditing and financial accounting. Funny enough, I passed them very well in that year. I could understand what is what, and then then 2021, the year of failure, now was no longer a year of failure because I had achieved a lot of things. And then I moved to final year, my degree in 2022.
Can we go back to this year of perspective?
Okay.
I just want to zero in on a point in that there was this idea that I was exploring, and it's a psychological concept of self-complexity.
Yeah.
And it's actually something that I believe aspiring CAs should think about as they're on their road to becoming a chartered accountant.
Yeah.
Because what is inevitable is that every single aspiring CA will come into contact with failure. We think failure is getting less than 50%.
Yeah.
But that's not at all what failure is. The top student has failed.
Yep.
You'd think it's not failure, but they have. They set a goal because even them, they believed that they were a AT student, an A student, a distinction student. They set their goal, and then CTA comes, and they get their first 52%.
Yeah.
That for them
It's a failure.
is a failure.
Yep.
And that for them has them questioning who they are as well.
Yeah.
So we all go through failure. The problem when you fail in a space that you identify with is that it threatens your self-conception.
Yeah.
The moment that you're not competent, even though you thought you were competent as this thing, it really does destabilize the idea of who you are. Like, who am I? So the way that you can actually hedge against this is to not be defined by one thing,
Yeah.
but multiple.
Yes.
Which is this concept of self-complexity. And the truth of my failure is that I wasn't, I actually wasn't broken by it.
Yeah.
Because I was actually a public speaker. I trained for 3 years as a speaker before that. And so and there were other things as well. I was a musician and things like those. So there were kind of things that I knew proved that I'm not a failure.
Yeah.
I'm not actually a failure.
Yeah.
I might have failed, and we all go through the feeling of like, oh, I failed, I'm a failure, the doubt and the embarrassment and all these things. But at the end of the day, I'm more.
Yeah.
So making sure that you understand that even in life, you're more is an important thing to grapple with
Yeah.
before you get to that failure point.
Yeah.
Because there's people that go through different kinds of darkness,
Yeah.
suicide and all these types of things, simply because you just didn't get a hobby, dude. Like you just didn't get a hobby.
No, that's an honest shoe, honestly. And I think that pause, maybe let's call failure a pause. That pause is something that is sometimes required.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you're an A student your entire high school, you're an A student your entire varsity life, you're an A student entire, career life. Then there's some of the things that you could actually be good at, but then you won't necessarily realize that, okay, I can actually be good at this thing because you never really get a chance to explore it. And then sometimes exploring something means you need to do away with other things. So if you're always busy, we're always like a specific way, like a linear way of doing things, then you won't know that maybe if I can just take a sharp kef, what would happen? You will never know.
Yeah.
So I think the pause, it's something that is actually required sometimes, or maybe at times, basically.
So then third, you repeat your second year.
I repeat my second year.
You do your third year, but then you come to probably we could call it the biggest obstacle.
Yep.
To be continued in part 2. See you next week.